Hey y'all, we back. Now close that screen door. Start letting all the flies up in here. You know I don't like flies. Now y'all, we want to get into the Unitedhealthcare CEO murdering, and allegedly the suspect Luigi Mangione has been accused as the shooter in this case. And I believe mentally that they are feeling empathy and sympathy for him as the suspect instead of empathy and sympathy for the United Healthcare Brian Thompson murder. Okay, it's kind of like a mixed up in this, like a mixed up in this case, like they feeling sorry for him. But I want to break down what the police is looking at, the way everybody is looking into his case. So you know me, I'm gonna break down my video. So don't expect just to sit here and watch a video. Sit here and watch and listen what we're talking about. Okay. Now,
left that different scenario when he was leading that court hearing. He was also quiet during the beginning of this court hearing, only answering rather twice to the judge when asked questions. He said, "I do" when sworn in, and "yes, sir," answering the judge when he asked if he understood his right to contest.
now, people, when he got in the car, he went screaming and hollering and yelling and doing none of that. So I want to show y'all one more time. See, when they first arrived there, he was all loud and stuff. But leaving that courtroom, he had a different testimony. He ain't say nothing.
That courthouse a lot calmer than what you just showed your viewers when he headed in, when he was screaming things.
Look at him, guys.
Different scenario when he was leaving that court hearing.
How quiet.
During the beginning of this court hearing, only answering rather twice to the judge when asked questions. He said, "I do" when he was sworn in, and "yes, sir," answering the judge when he asked if he understood his right to contest this extradition. I can tell you that he was wearing an orange jumpsuit. Our reporter inside the courtroom said he had a disheveled collar. He was shackled at his hands and at his wrists. And his attorney, who you just mentioned, we have since learned, Jake, just in the last few minutes, that
that's him going in.
Hired to represent.
That's him going into court.
That this was not a court-appointed defense attorney. And during this hearing, he, as you just heard him say, fought this extradition. He also,
like I said, this is he going inside the court, y'all. But when he came from the court, you saw how quiet at the beginning of the video, explaining how quiet he was when he left the courtroom. But this how loud he was going into the courtroom.
basically trying to get Mangione out on some sort of bail. He's got no criminal history. He can be, tracked by GPS if necessary. To which the district attorney there in Blair County basically lined some of the evidence that they have against him, including the fact that he was found with $8,000 cash, $2,000 of foreign currency, a passport said that he was evading police for several days, was transient. So, of course, as we know, he is still behind bars. The judge denying that request for some sort of bail. And
look at that face. Look at that anger, y'all. Look how angry he is. He the one did the shooting. So why is he angry? He did that. Talking about his medical history. He don't have a medical history. That man was valedictorian of his class. Ain't nothing wrong with him. So y'all stop trying to get empathy and sympathy for him and think about the healthcare CEO worker, Brian Thompson. That's who I feel sorry for. His family. And kids.
Allowed to fight this extradition. That is his right. What we understand now happens is that his attorney, that defense attorney, has 14 days to file a writ of habeas corpus. This basically allows him to say, you know what, this is not the guy that needs to be extradited. Of course, it's a stretch, but it does basically extend these proceedings. And it also, if you think about it, gives the NYPD, gives investigators more time to sort of collect evidence and build their case against them, and then they will all be back in court to discuss next steps in this court process.
Well, what they mean that he is not the man should be locked up? What they mean by that? He did it. I seen it on the video. He did it. Luigi Mangione did assassinate this man. It was he. Look at that face. That it was him. Don't let the hair confuse y'all. Don't let all this cuteness, the cuteness, look past all this good lookingness.
And Brent, what more are we learning about the suspect, Luigi Mangione?
Yeah, so we are learning. The New York Times is actually reporting that his family grew very concerned about him at one point, actually filing a basically a missing persons report on November 18th. It was San Francisco. Now we understand.
So his on November the 18th. Is that what she just said? On November the 18th, his parents put a missing report out on a 26-year-old. That means that he is close to his family. If he 26 and he out there in the world, evidently he contact his family. But November the 18th, family haven't heard anything. What happened to him mentally? What all I can see is that he don't got on some kind of substances and took the wrong stuff, mixed it with something, and mentally it took control over him. And he need more and more and more. But he don't understand once you're not going to get that same reaction that you got from the beginning when you doing substances. It's not going to feel like that. So what contributed to his mental illnesses? Now he gone missing November 18th. Here we are right here in December 11th. They just found him the other day. So he been gone like for a month, but he ain't contact the family. Why is it that he's not contacting family, but he is on the phone with someone? So he don't want his parents. What I see, what I'm listening to is that he don't want his parents to know.
That he does have some ties to San Francisco. We're not quite sure of when that happened, but that is a key note. It also tracks with what we've been learning from his social media footprint is that, he was very active on social media for quite a while, posting pictures of friends, his travels, and then sort of went dark where people were reaching out to him wondering if he was okay. One person asked, "Are you going to honor your RSVP to my wedding?" So it did seem that he went dark for a while, and it does appear the New York Times
he went dark. How did he go dark? He was active, then he became unactive. Make it seem like to me that this is what he's supposed to do. You know what I mean? There's something wrong with this young man. I'm looking at him now. Like he controlled, you know what I mean? Have y'all even seen a person look like they under some kind of influence or either controlled a mind controlled substance or something?
Reporting that his family also very concerned, so much so that they filed this missing persons report last month.
All right, Rich Ingress, thanks so much. Let's bring in CNN Chief Law Enforcement and Intelligence Inlet John Miller, former NYPD Chief of Department Ken Corey, and Ellie Koenig, former Assistant U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York. Ellie, let me start with you. What do you make of the fact that this defense attorney was hired, not court appointed? And also, what do you make of what we just heard from him?
Well, Jake, it means that the family has enough money to pay for a private attorney, and they've elected to do that. Regarding the extradition, it's really important to understand this is a bureaucratic headache for prosecutors, but it's not going to actually interfere with the substantive prosecution in any way. What's likely to happen now is a few weeks from now, we will have a hearing. There will be a hearing in Pennsylvania State Court. All the prosecutors have to show basically is this person sitting here in the courtroom is the same guy we've charged. It is Luigi Mangione. It's a very low burden of proof. It's a hurdle prosecutors have to jump over, but once they do, he will wind up back here in New York to face murder and sometimes your job as a lawyer is just to put the government and prosecutors through their paces.
Ken, what is the NYPD doing as this process plays out in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, so they're going to continue to do what they've been doing, right? The arrest never ends the investigation. The arrest is really only the first piece of it. There is so much more that has to be done here to get this case ready for a successful prosecution by the New York District Attorney. They are still out there collecting video. That video is all going to be scoured and ultimately stitched together into a timeline to try to show as much of the 225 or so hours that he spent in New York City as possible, to really be able to almost show the jury a movie of his movements to successfully.
Y'all, they have a timeline. The timeline is the transition from San Francisco to Pennsylvania, from Pennsylvania to New York. Come on now. The boy didn't travel on a bicycle like we saw him in there. Somebody's helping this young man, and we still start trying to talk crazy, but as if it's impossible.
Conclude that this is in fact the same person who's responsible for this crime. At the same time, they're continuing.
I believe it's somebody else in his family helping him. I believe somebody. What I'm saying, y'all, is somebody else. Do he have a twin brother? Do he have a? He looks just like Nino, so the family favors. So it's when he was walking down the street. I'm gonna show y'all the video in a few minutes. It's gonna be in this video. Somebody was walking with him, look more stronger and bigger than him. He's skinny. I believe it's two people, but they favor a lot. You know how some resembles a lot because the family has strong genes. Because Nino is his cousin, and Nino look just like him. So, do y'all think it's a twin brother somewhere, a close relative, a little bigger than him, and they threw us off? That's why I said it's a ring. It's a circle of them. It's the whole family. It's a whole circle of the Mangione, ain't it? Mangione.
The forensic evidence, they're going to start to get DNA results back. At some point, they will get a DNA sample from Mangione to do a direct comparison to any DNA that was recovered off that water bottle at the crime scene or the Kind Bar wrapper at the crime scene. And of course, they're trying to match the.
See, right here. This about to be him. It don't look like him, do it? It don't look like him, do it? That don't look like him right there to me. That's him with that mask on, y'all. And what's inside that mask right there? What is that mess inside there? What is that? Ew. Maybe it's something else. But look at him right here. See, when he put that mask on, it looked like him. Look at his hands. This can be him. He inside of McDonald's, y'all. And he got that thing right down his mask. He getting high as he go. So this is, he covered up the face like them eyes. The eyes will tell you who it is. But it's supposed to be him. But that don't look like him. That don't look like the same boy got out there. Do he have a cousin that look like him? Look, y'all. Supposed to be him. Without the mask. This is what he kept on his face when he was even at the hostel. Over at the place where he was living at.
On the firearm that was in his possession to any
now that don't look like the same man who had that mask off. Did that look like him, y'all? Y'all just seen the picture of him right here, and right here. I don't know.
Slugs that were recovered and the spent shells recovered from the scene.
John, what are you hearing from your sources today as this investigation plays out with Mangione in custody in Pennsylvania?
I got a question. I have a question. Do he have any brothers? Do he have a brother that, a big older brother that on drugs or something like that? I just feel that inside of this, y'all. Do he have an older brother that he look up to, an older cousin that he look up to? Cause the man right here don't look like him right here. Wait, I don't know why I won't show the picture. Hold on, y'all. Let me play this.
To successfully conclude that this is in fact the same person who's responsible for this crime. At the same time, they're continuing to test the forensic evidence. They're going to start to get DNA results back. At some point, they will get a DNA sample from Mangione to do a direct comparison to any DNA that was recovered off that water bottle at the crime scene or the Kind Bar wrapper at the crime scene. And of course, they're trying to match.
Yes. Do that look like him? I'm asking y'all, do that look like him, the man that we just saw? Look at the picture right here. That don't look like him to me. It don't look like him. But it could be the same man, but it don't look like him.
On the firearm that was in his possession, to any slugs that were recovered, and the spent shells recovered from the scene.
I don't know, y'all. It can be him. It can be him. If they found this stuff, it could have. It's this him right here. So that may be him. I don't know.
John, what are you hearing from your sources today as this investigation plays out with Mangione in custody in Pennsylvania?
They're continuing to try, as Ken kind of indicated, to backtrack. There are gaps in the story. Of course, there's gaps in that movie they're trying to make, which would really ideally show every place he went of every minute of every day in New York City. But there are larger gaps in the story before that, which is when he went off the grid, where did he go off the grid? San Francisco seems to be a pointer there. What, if anything, did that have to do with is what appears to be self-radicalization. So they're working on that, but they have core responsibilities that hinge on this extradition, which is Pennsylvania has the gun, they have the body has the fingerprints in terms of the prisoner.
Now, if Pennsylvania has the gun and stuff, they can get rid of evidence. Why is the evidence in Pennsylvania instead of in New York? Why? Why is the why? They can clean the evidence out in Pennsylvania because that's where the cousin is a politician at. Come on, y'all. This some bull mess here. The evidence is in Pennsylvania. They can clean the evidence. That's where he was locked up at. And then he was extradited over here. But y'all leaving the evidence over there to be clean. Y'all always looking out for folks.
The DNA, so they may have to get warrants to travel to Pennsylvania to obtain their own fingerprints, their own DNA, to test fire that gun. Pennsylvania can't simply hand all that over to them because if this process drags out and the judge, says produce the evidence of your crime, they can't say we lent it out. So there's a little codependency going on there, but it's all going to work because they've done this before.
Ellie, what do prosecutors in New York have to show in this case, and why charge the suspect with second-degree murder instead of first-degree murder?
I think a lot of people are asking that exact question. So under New York state law, first-degree murder only applies to very narrow circumstances. For example, where the victim is a judge, a police officer, a first responder, or where the murder involves a murder for hire, or where there's torture involved in the case, or where the murder is committed in the course of some other crime, like a robbery or a terroristic act. And as far as we know, none of those features apply apply to the murder so far. And so that's why it seems that New York prosecutors have charged a second-degree murder. What they will have to show is that Mr. Mangione intentionally killed his victim here, and if that's proven, he's looking at a
intentionally. Yeah, we saw the video. He intentionally shot the man. Well, anytime you shoot somebody from a back, you're a coward. He aimed that weapon towards that man and took that man down, and then got on his bicycle and left. I don't feel sorry for him.
Minimum of 15 years behind bars, no parole, and he could be behind bars for as long as life, depending if and when.
15 years.
And Ken, one of the reasons why this story is significant and we're giving so much attention to it is because of the response we're hearing from many members of the public. An NYPD intelligence report obtained by CNN notes the positive online reaction to this murder of this Unitedhealthcare CEO, Brian Thompson. The intel report says, quote, based on observed initial online reactions to the shooting, including celebrations of the killing of a health insurance executive, there is a
celebration, including celebration of the killing of the health insurance executive. That man is over the company that we use on our job. There is a risk that a wide range of extremists may view Mangione as a matrix. Now, y'all, I looked that word up. Y'all know, funny at the grandma Lanita. She's going to look up her words, okay? So, no, that ain't what I want. Okay, I want to take it to that word, matrix. Matrix. Now, this is how you pronounce it.
Martyr.
Okay, the reason why I looked over that word, I wanted y'all to see that word is because murder is a person who is killed because of their religion or other belief. So, in other words, go back to here. No, not there. Go back to here. That's where that word right there come from. They saying that there is a risk that a wide range of extremists may view Mangione as a religion person. That's why I looked that word up. So they saying that he is a person who killed because of their religion or beliefs. So his beliefs is what you telling me that really took this man down. That's what they saying. That the reason of Mangione beliefs. That's why he took this man down. But how did he know what this man? How do he know where this man is going, where he was, how he know? Somebody was watching Brian in order for him to know, unless he was watching Brian. And then want to do the shooting in the McDonald's, but he did it shooting outside McDonald's. That's what I see. What y'all think? That's what I'm hitting. That's why I looked that word up for y'all. That's why I looked that word, because I wanted to know. So the part of his religion and of course his religion has to do with Brian. Oh Lord have mercy. That's why I said they're showing empathy and sympathy for him. Okay, let's go back, y'all. I don't see nobody celebrating. I'm gonna find it. See why they celebrating it.
Risk that a wide range of extremists may view Mangione as a martyr and an example to follow, unquote. Have you seen this type of response for a suspected murderer before?
Yeah, no, certainly not in these circumstances, right? And as was indicated, the outpouring of support is really unusual and very shocking, right? This isn't somebody who maybe is going to leverage a claim of self-defense, where you could see that there was some sympathy involved or somebody who was being victimized, maybe with a long history as a domestic violence victim, and you can see people sympathizing with the offender there / victim. This is very, very different, and we saw that outpouring support on social media. We see, comments really backlash against the McDonald's employee who called in the tip in the first place. So, I think that there is a fear. Anytime you have a really notorious crime that gets this level of public attention, you're always worried about, is this going to inspire somebody else to kind of do something similar?
Kara, we just heard from Mangione's defense attorney. What did he say? And take us inside the extradition hearing.
That's right. Well, we're just hearing from Luigi Mangione's attorney, Thomas Dewey. He spoke to reporters saying that he expects Mangione will plead not guilty to the gun charges in Pennsylvania. And he says when these murder charges are filed in New York, he anticipates he will plead not guilty to those as well. Here's a little bit more about what he said.
I haven't seen any evidence that says that he's a shooter. So that's, like I said earlier, and I wasn't kidding around. A couple of things. If you're going to report something, report accurately.
So what he's saying, y'all, there isn't any evidence there in New York. The evidence is in Pennsylvania. So I know it happened. Now this is what I'm getting is that New York wants to handle the case because that's where Brian Thompson resides. But all the evidence is in Pennsylvania. Why not do it over there? Oh, I can see, because what he did, this is what the Luigi Mangione's did. This is what they did. His circle did. He did the crime and ran. Then he ran into another state. Then he got caught in another state. So take him back to that state. It's not like he's from another country, like from Mexico to New York. He from Pennsylvania to New York. Send that information over there. That's why he don't see any evidence. Zero evidence. Because it's none there in New York, but there is evidence. So this man right here is going to be a hot cup of coffee.
Not just a small thing. The fundamental concept of American justice is the presumption of innocence, and until you're proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, and I've seen zero evidence at this point.
Now, those comments came after the court hearing, but right before it got underway, our cameras captured Mangione walking from police custody into the courtroom. There was a bit of a scuffle, and he shouted words to a reporter. Take a listen to that. Oh, my God.
These folks are crazy.
Once inside the courtroom, Mangione entered wearing an orange prison jumpsuit. His collar was ruffled. He was shackled by the hands and at his feet. And he sat down at the table. He had a piece of paper with him that he unwrapped that was kind of crinkled. Now, he didn't speak much inside the courtroom, despite what his outbursts outside of it. He only confirmed to the judge that, yes, he understood that he had a right to contest these charges. Now, his lawyer did most of the speaking. He said that they would fight extradition. He also tried to get bail for Mangione, saying that some of the evidence that was found on him, including the mask, could possibly be explained, saying maybe it was about COVID, some of the foreign currency. His attorney suggested it could possibly have been fake, and he asked the judge to release him on an electronic monitoring bracelet. Now, prosecutors opposed that, running through the litany of evidence that they obtained, including ammunition and a silencer. Wolf?
So, Kara, what happens next for Mangione?
So the judge set out a schedule here, giving Mangione 14 days to file briefs related to this extradition issue. He's also said that prosecutors have 30 days to submit what is known as a governor's warrant. And the district attorney in Manhattan, Alva Bragg, said that he will seek that warrant, and New York Governor Kathy Hochul said she will sign that warrant. So those papers will all come back to court. The judge will then likely schedule another hearing in this case.
Y'all better hurry up and do it before they get rid of that evidence. Don't forget, his cousin, Nino Mangione, is a Republican there. Yes. Come on, hurry up.
which our legal and law enforcement experts are standing by. They're joining us right now. John Miller, what do you make of Mangione's attorney saying he hasn't seen any evidence that his client is the shooter and that his client will plead not guilty to the Pennsylvania charges?
I think, as my two colleagues both know, he's telling the absolute truth.
That's right.
He showed up basically for a routine court appearance and has not received any of the discovery material, which would include the evidence that they've gathered. So while he's saying he hasn't seen any, he knows better.
Look how quiet he is, y'all.
He just hasn't seen it.
Laura Coates, from what we've heard from Mangione's attorney, what's your sense of how he will defend this case?
Well, certainly you would expect a defense attorney to try to begin their case in the court of public opinion, one in which the court of public opinion has weighed in very strongly on this matter, that probably is making prosecutors a little bit wary of what a voir dire and jury selection would look like, given the backlash towards the actual victim of this crime. And so they're going to...
I'm gonna skip it a little bit, y'all. I want to go bit. I want to go down, take it down to the what this boy said, what they were saying about him. What the moms. This I want to put it right here.
In front of that judge. But Aaron, there's just still so many unanswered questions right now about this case, even with Mangione in custody. So we went back to try and understand better his roots. We came right here to...
And y'all, the mother said that reported him missing for 16 days. 16 days. He didn't want the mom to know he was involved in something.
Where he went to college. Before he be escorted into a Pennsylvania courthouse, Luigi Mangione spent time more than 200 miles east, here at the University of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia. The prestigious Ivy League university confirming Mangione graduated on May 18th, 2020 with a bachelor's and master's degree in engineering. That means he likely spent much of his time here at the School of Engineering and Applied Science. Now, while there weren't a lot of people who knew him or were willing to speak to us about him on camera, at least one student said that he was a TA of Computer and Information Sciences. Also, in a since-taken-down post for the university's pen today, Mangione was featured for leading a 60-student club that made video games. Quote, "I wanted to make my own game, so I learned how to code," Mangione told a university writer.
Yeah, he's so smart. He wanted his own game.
Honor Society Engineering School, which is only for the top students in the class. He was involved in a fraternity on campus.
UPenn student newspaper editor-in-chief Jared Minovich said his team has been working to see if there were any signs then of what was to come.
What was the type of education he received at Penn? Is Penn the type of place where he would have learned how to 3D print? Is it the type of place where he, was exposed to, certain beliefs just in like the groups that he ran into or like the things that he was involved in?
Mangione grew up in a wealthy family from Baltimore. According to the Baltimore Sun, his grandfather, Nicholas Mangione, built a local real estate empire.
Now, on this picture right here, he looked like the guy with the mask on his face. That's him. That's him. That's you. That's you. I'm not feeling empathy nor sympathy for you.
That included nursing home facilities around Maryland.
The mama got nursing home. They got nursing homes, y'all. These some big money folks. What would make somebody who family have a big healthcare services doing well to make Luigi of valedictorian of his class perform like this? Somebody knows something.
Two suburban country clubs. In a statement released by Mangione's cousin, Maryland State Delegate Nino Mangione, his family said they were shocked and devastated by Luigi's arrest. At his arraignment Monday night, Mangione told the judge he had been in contact with his family, quote, until recently.
It's been an incredible journey.
Mangione graduated valedictorian in 2016 from Baltimore's prestigious all-boys The Gilman School. Former classmates couldn't believe he was now this suspect.
I can tell you that this is one of the last people you think would do something like this.
In recent years, according to a friend in online postings, though, Mangione suffered from back pain and underwent surgery to treat it.
Now, that back pain that I mentioned earlier to y'all in one of my other upload video, please go check those videos out, y'all. those pain, and he underwent surgery to treat it. He didn't have no pain when they were checking on his neck then. So what? How? What is he doing? What is he taking to? Did the surgery fix the pain? That's what I'm saying. Because after you have the surgery, you really don't need any more pain. And you have the pain medicine, but then it wear out, so let you get addicted to the pain medicine. Okay, so once he had the surgery, he should have been fine. Because he was fine when they was checking on that neck. So what happened mentally, physically, and emotionally?
A Reddit user matching his biographical details writing in July 2023, my back and hips locked up after the accident. Intermittent numbness has become constant. I'm terrified.
Constant. Okay. Thank you for showing this. And the intimate numbness has become constant. He still have constant pain on his back and his hips. But he all on a bicycle and he all like that shooting and stuff. But what is he taking? What is he taking and mixing up together? That's why I hear a mixture of something that make him become mentally and physically, emotionally at the same time.
But after maintaining a social media presence for years, Mangione went quiet.
That's him. That's him. Oh no, that picture make his face look longer. That's him. That look like him right there. That's him, y'all. That's him.
This past summer and appeared to stop communicating with his family. Also notable, Aaron, as Mangione started to fade from his online presence, people noticed at least one ex-user tweeting at him saying, "I haven't heard from you in months." Another in late November, just before the shooting, posting, "Thinking of you and prayers every day in your..."
Y'all see those online communication with your peers on your on any kind of social media account. When you disappear like that, that's when we got to find out when did he end that. He ended his social media, got off of social media, got left home, got off the social media. They ain't heard from him, not left home, but they have the family haven't heard from him since November 18th. That's when everything clicked. Then he disappeared off of social media for a while. Everybody wonder where did he go. He involved in a circle. He's something. He meeting up, he doing it, he planning. This boy is smart.
Know that you are missed and loved. And Aaron, I'll note that the University of Pennsylvania declined to comment further for this story. Aaron?
Danny, thank you very much. So Tim Clemente is here now, former FBI counterterrorism agent, Mary Ellen O'Toole, senior profiler for the FBI, and Mark O'Mara, criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor. Tim, can I start with you? I just want to play again that outburst because, you know, often when you see a suspect like this, there's a stone-faced would be the way you describe them. This couldn't have been more the opposite of that. Luigi Mangione right outside court today. Here he is. Tim, it's disturbing to watch that. What he says, we had it written on the bottom of the screen, but just in case anyone's just listening, it's completely out of touch and an insult to the intelligence of the American people. It's lived experience. You hear him shout, and he sounds distressed. He's fighting against police as he does that. What do you make of this?
Acting like a maniac.
This is him showing himself, showing what he cares about, which is himself, obviously. I mean, he's not distraught, not going in there with his head held low, not going in there like he's embarrassed by this. This is his moment. Apparently, in the last 5 or 6 days, he's probably looked at a lot of social media and seen how many adulating fans he has around the world that are saying he's a hero. He's mistaken misguided people that are trying to say.
How can they say this a hero? Hero from what? A hero for what? Assassinating a person? Y'all mentally, y'all need to cut it out. Y'all need to cut it. Come on, social media. He's a hero for what? For a motive for taking a person from his family, a healthcare person. Let's look at it. He took a man away from his family, and y'all sitting up there clapping for that. Really? Y'all clapping that he won a game? Like he said he wanted to make games. He want this to be a game. Maybe he got into his characters in a game, and then he started performing the character within his game that he created. Y'all know what I mean? You say he said he wanted to do games. So did he make a healthcare game? And this is what he's supposed to do? Is he planning on making a game out of this particular incident that he it can't doing now? I don't know.
What he did was good. I mean, he committed a
Right.
cold-blooded murder. Obviously planned it for some time.
Thank
And
you.
now he's basking in the limelight. This is his moment. His 15 minutes of fame, and he's taking all the advantage he can out of it.
Marielle, there was also a photo taken during those moments in the hearing. And as I described this, the rage is palpable. The sneer, the rage from his eyes, from his expression, the sneer on his face.
His nose.
And we also have the mugshot. Now, this is just a straight stare. But when you look at him in these photos and when you see that outburst, that rage in that still photo, what do you see, Marielle?
Well, there are definitely signs of rage and anger, but here's the conundrum. You have to really look at what his behavior was like. For example, in the car pulling up there before they got him out of the car, was he cool, calm, and collected? So then he gets out of the car, and then he immediately has this outburst. So was that brought about by the fact that the cameras are on, the media was there, and it immediately put him into the role of wanting a lot of attention? You have to consider that before you rule it one way or the other. I've seen a lot of offenders, when they go to court, they will act up because it is their time to get that attention, to get that notoriety. The other thing that I look at with him is this: if he was so quick to anger like that, there's an absence of any kind of reports of him getting in fights with people, of him even being arrested.
My thing of the whole thing is the healthcare worker. How did he choose the healthcare worker to become his motive? Why did he do that? Come on. Let's talk about why did he do this?
For this quick temper. So something is causing this.
That's right.
It's important that, and investigators they'll go back to take a look at, is there something medically, is there something mentally, to better understand what's going on with him.
So, Mark,
and I've been bringing that up the whole time. It's something mentally that twitching him on to this. He know, and he been planning it. Because they know where in the world he can come from San Francisco to Pennsylvania to New York to come over there and know exactly where that man was, where his location was. It's a whole lot of people in this. I ain't crazy.
In terms of if this was him trying to seize the moment and control the narrative and have his moment in front of the cameras, when he was in court today with his lawyer, and so he's just met this lawyer, right? His lawyer has admitted that he told his client at one point to be quiet and not talk, and then also said this about Mangione.
This is not just a small thing. A fundamental concept of American justice is the presumption of innocence, and until you're proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, and I've seen zero evidence at this point.
What do you think of that, Mark?
First of all, just zero evidence, okay, because nothing has come out yet. I would probably be a bit more circumspect about saying it because we know some of the evidence is out there. This case is going to run two tracks. One track is the forensic evidence. Did he do it from an evidentiary standpoint? It's going to be very strong because our digital evidence is so strong in cases like this, from cameras to the cell phones themselves. But the other part of it is the mental health mitigation. If they can prove he did it, then the question is why. And I see in those outbursts and his actions, I see nuggets of mental health mitigation coming out to the forefront. And everything has been consistent for 6 months or more, from the coming off social media, stopping conversations with his family and friends, the bizarre behaviors that we've seen. All of that, I think, is going to show itself as the beginnings of a mental health defense.
Yeah, all I got to say, and this is what I'm saying, is that the young man planted this, and he didn't plan alone. Y'all like, share, and subscribe, and thank you for watching.